The following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games. This episode of the Replay Sports Channel is brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Order your favorite team's replica gear today from Royal Retros and use the discount code REPLAY to get 10% off your purchase. The link is provided in the show's description.
Welcome to Memorial Stadium, New York against Baltimore. Here's the kick from Myers. The kick from Myers is returned 36 yards by George Miller on the tackle. Stafford from the pistol. Stafford calls out the signals. Stafford fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Tucker. Stafford with the pass to Tucker, gain of 18, Gardner on the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 47. Stafford calls out the signals. The handoff to Barkley. Barkley on the carry, 4-yard gain, Highsmith on the tackle. Second and 6 at the 43. Shotgun. Stafford back to pass. Short hitch to Tucker. Stafford throws incomplete to Tucker. Third and 6. Stafford fades back to pass. Screen. Stafford completes the pass to Barkley, gain of 11, Landman on the tackle, first down. Baltimore breaks the huddle. Stafford gives to Barkley. Barkley with a gain of 8 on the play, Thompson on the tackle. Stafford gives to Barkley. Barkley lost 1 on the play, Parsons on the tackle. Third and 3. Stafford with a short drop. Short slant to George. Stafford passes to George, touchdown Baltimore. Carty will try the point after. Carty converts the extra point, Baltimore 7, New York 0. Here's the kick from Carty. The kick from Carty is returned 11 yards by Wiley, Green on the tackle. Hand off to Warren. Wide open field. 15-yard run by Warren, Brisker on the stop, first down. Young fades back to pass. Young dumps it to Calcaterra. Young completes the pass to Calcaterra, gain of 4, Edwards on the tackle. 2nd and 6. Warren with the handoff. Warren lost 3 on the play, Witherspoon on the tackle. Third and 9 from the 38. Shotgun. Young fades back to pass. He throws long to Tonjes. Young completes the pass to Tonjes, gain of 30, Spillane on the tackle, first down. Bojorquez will punt. A 43-yard punt by Bojorquez, fair catch by George. Hand off to Barkley. Two-yard run by Barkley, Landman on the tackle. Shotgun formation. Stafford drops back to pass. Screen. Stafford completes the pass to Smith, gain of 3, Hickman on the tackle. 3rd and 5 at the 24. Stafford drops back to pass. Screen to Henry. Stafford to Henry, incomplete, Emanwuri with the coverage. Man back in punt formation. High snap. Fumble. Man lost 11 on the play, fumble recovered by Henry, Baltimore maintains possession. Young at the line. End around to Shakir. Has room to run. Shakir on the reverse, touchdown New York. Myers will try the point after. The kick by Myers is good, New York 7, Baltimore 7. The kick from Myers is downed by George. Baltimore breaks the huddle. Stafford at the line. Barkley with the handoff. Barkley on the carry, gain of 3, Emanwuri on the stop. 2nd and 7. Shotgun formation. Stafford gives to Barkley. Has room to run. 12-yard run by Barkley. Flag on the field.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 4, 5-yard penalty.
Stafford at the line. Fades back to pass. Short slant to George. Stafford completes the pass to George, flag on the field.
Holding, offense. Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
Second and 22. Trips left. Stafford takes a deep drop. Stafford dumps it to Barkley. Stafford throws incomplete to Barkley. Penalty on the play.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 1, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Third and 17 from the 18. Stafford fades back to pass. Medium cross to Tucker. Stafford completes the pass to Tucker. Flag on the field.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 26, 5-yard penalty.
Man deep in punt formation. A 52-yard punt by Man, fair catch by Shaheed. Young sets up in the pocket. Young is sacked by Brisker, loss of 7. From the shotgun, Young fades back to pass. Screen to Warren. Young to Warren, gain of 2, Wilson on the tackle. 3rd and 15 from the 12. Young fades back to pass. Medium button hook to Wilson. Young completes the pass to Wilson, gain of 9, Stokes with the tackle. Bojorquez to punt. A 43-yard punt by Bojorquez, 12-yard return by Dortch. First and 10 from the 48. Barkley takes the handoff. Barkley on the carry, gain of 3, Murphy on the tackle. Baltimore breaks the huddle. 2nd and 7. Stafford in the shotgun. Stafford fades back to pass. Short button hook to Smith. Stafford throws incomplete to Smith. 3rd and 7 from the 49. Stafford to throw. Stafford dumps it to Higgins. Stafford to Higgins, gain of 9, Brown on the tackle, 1st down. Baltimore breaks the huddle. Barkley takes the handoff. Barkley with a gain of 3 on the play, Highsmith on the tackle. 2nd and 7 from the 37. 0:51 in the first. Barkley takes the handoff. Barkley on the carry, no gain, Parsons on the tackle. 3rd and 7 from the 37. Stafford drops back to pass. Screen to Higgins. Stafford passes to Higgins, gain of 16, Hickman on the stop, 1st down, end of the first quarter, New York 7, Baltimore 7. Hand off to Barkley. Barkley on the carry, gain of 7, Knight on the tackle. New York showing blitz. Stafford sets to throw. Medium fly. Stafford to Tucker, incomplete. 3rd and 3. Stafford calls out the signals. Transfers control to Barkley. Barkley on the carry, no gain. Knight on the tackle. 32-yard attempt for Carty. Man to hold. This will give them the lead. Good snap from center. McCoy with the snap. Carty connects from 32 yards, Baltimore 10, New York 7. Here's the kick from Carty. The kick from Carty is returned 20 yards by Shaheed, Stokes on the tackle. Young at the line. Hand off to Warren. Warren on the carry, gain of 8, Thibodeau on the stop. 2nd and 2 from the 41. Wilson is doubled at the line. Give to Warren. Warren on the carry, no gain, Ajimo on the tackle. New York trailing by 3. 3rd and 2. Pistol formation. Shaheed is doubled at the line. Warren with the handoff. Warren with the carry, gain of 7, Stokes on the stop, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48. Young fades back to pass. Medium crossing pass. Young passes to Shakir, 16-yard gain, Witherspoon with the tackle, 1st down. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium cross to Shakir. Young to Shakir, 10-yard gain, Witherspoon with the tackle, 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 26. Young hands to Warren. Warren the ball carrier, gain of 5, Sealer on the tackle. Baltimore showing blitz. Young is back to pass. Medium hitch to Shakir. Young completes the pass to Shakir, 11-yard gain, Witherspoon on the stop, 1st down. 1st and goal from the 10. Young from the pistol. Warren with the handoff. Warren on the carry, no gain, Spillane with the tackle. Hand off to Warren. Warren on the carry, 4-yard gain, Thibodeau on the tackle. 3rd and goal. Shotgun formation. Draw to Corum. Corum lost 2 on the play, Brisker on the tackle. 26-yard attempt for Myers. Bojorquez to hold. The snap from Frazier. Low snap. But Bojorquez got it down. Myers made the 26-yard field goal, New York 10, Baltimore 10. The kick from Myers. Baltimore breaks the huddle. Running left. With daylight. Barkley on the pitch, gain of 15, Parsons on the tackle, first down. 1st and 10 from the 40. Stafford calling signals. Back to pass. Medium slant. Stafford to Tucker, gain of 35, Gardner on the tackle, first down. Barkley with the handoff. Barkley with a 5-yard run, Sweat on the tackle. Back in the shotgun. Stafford back to pass. He throws to Higgins. Stafford to Higgins, gain of 8, Thompson on the tackle, first down. Stafford back to pass. Stafford throws to Barkley. Stafford throws incomplete to Barkley, Knight on the coverage. Stafford back to pass. Medium slant. Stafford completes the pass to Tucker, touchdown Baltimore. Carty will try the point after. Carty missed the extra point, Baltimore 16, New York 10. Carty with the kick. The kick from Carty is returned 25 yards by Shaheed, Stokes on the tackle. Young at the line. Some movement up front. Possible free play for Young. Young back to pass. Young throws underneath to Corum. Young throws incomplete to Corum. Penalty on the play.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 97, 5-yard penalty.
First and 5. Young fades back to pass. Sideline pass to Tonjes. Young to Tonjes, incomplete, Wilson on the coverage. 2nd and 5 from the 30. Young hands to Corum. Corum with the carry, gain of 4, Sealer on the tackle. 3rd and 1. Young barks out the signals. Quick hand off to Warren. Warren with a 1-yard run, Lawrence on the tackle, first down. Young in the shotgun. Young calls out the signals. Give to Corum. 7-yard gain by Corum, Chasen on the tackle. Hurry up offense. Young back to pass. Throws to Tonjes' back shoulder. Young completes the pass to Tonjes, 5-yard gain, Wilson on the tackle, first down. Young is back to pass. Young checks down to Shakir. Young passes to Shakir, gain of 2, Witherspoon with the tackle, 2-minute warning. Young hands to Warren. Warren the ball carrier, 4-yard gain, Thibodeau with the tackle. Third and 4 from the 47. Young drops back to pass. Young tucks it under. 1 yard run by Young, Spillane on the tackle. Bojorquez to punt. Dortch waiting inside his own 10. A 38-yard punt by Bojorquez, out of bounds. Stafford pitches right to Barkley. Barkley the ball carrier, no gain, Highsmith with the tackle. Shotgun. Barkley takes the handoff. 4-yard run by Barkley, Clark on the tackle. Third and 6 from the 12. Draw to Barkley. Lots of daylight. 27-yard gain by Barkley, Thompson on the tackle, first down. End of the first half, Baltimore 16, New York 10. Here's the kick from Carty. The kick from Carty is returned 23 yards by Shaheed, Stokes on the tackle. Young at the line. Give to Warren. Warren on the carry, loss of 1, Witherspoon on the tackle. 2nd and 11. Young from the shotgun. He fades back to pass. Long slant. Young to Wilson, gain of 24, Stokes with the tackle, first down. Young fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Shakir. Young completes the pass to Shakir, gain of 11, Witherspoon on the tackle, first down. Young hands to Warren. Warren with a gain of 7 on the play, Chasen on the tackle. Young calls out the signals. Takes a short drop. Short slant to Tonjes. Young completes the pass to Tonjes, gain of 6, Wilson on the stop, first down. Warren with the handoff. Warren gains 2 on the sweep, Spillane on the tackle. Bootleg. Young with the carry, gain of 5, Chasen on the tackle. 3rd and 3 from the 8. Young from the pistol. Baltimore showing blitz. The handoff to Warren. Warren on the carry, gain of 2, Chasen on the tackle. 4th and 1 from the 6. Give to Warren. Two-yard run by Warren, Spillane on the tackle, first down. Corum with the handoff. Corum on the carry, gain of 3, Spillane on the stop.
The field stands. The runner was stopped short of the end zone. A timeout will be charged.
The give to Perrin. Perrin on the carry, touchdown New York.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
Myers will try the point after. Myers makes the extra point, New York 17, Baltimore 16. The kick from Myers is downed by George. Give to Barkley. Barkley on the carry, 8-yard gain, Highsmith with the tackle. 2nd and 2 at the 33. Stafford with a short drop. Short cross to Smith. Stafford throws incomplete to Smith. Penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
Second and 12 from the 23. Stafford from the shotgun. Stafford gives to Barkley. Barkley on the sweep, gain of 11, Highsmith on the tackle. 3rd and 1. Stafford back to pass. Short out pass to Henry. Stafford throws incomplete to Henry, Thompson on the coverage. Man deep in punt formation. A 51-yard punt by Man, fair catch by Shaheed. Young drops back to pass. Medium out pass. Young throws incomplete to Shakir, Witherspoon with the coverage. Young from the shotgun. Young fades back to pass. Short cross to Shakir. Young throws incomplete to Shakir, Witherspoon on the coverage. 3rd and 10 from the 15. Young fades back to pass. Medium slant. Young throws incomplete to Shakir, Witherspoon on the coverage. Bojorquez to punt. A 53-yard punt by Bojorquez, fair catch by George. Baltimore breaks the huddle. 1st and 10 from the 32. Stafford calls out the signals. Stafford hands to Barkley. Barkley on the sweep, gain of 2, Schnell on the tackle. 2nd and 8. Stafford from the shotgun. Tucker faces a double at the line. And off to Barkley. Barkley on the carry, gain of 5, Highsmith on the tackle. 3rd and 3. Stafford pitches right to Barkley. Barkley on the pitch, loss of 4, Young on the tackle. Man will punt it away. A 47-yard punt by Man, fair catch by Shaheed. Young pitches left to Corum. Corum on the carry, no gain, Juden on the tackle. Shotgun formation. Young pitches left to Corum. Corum on the pitch, gain of 3, Juden on the tackle. 3rd and 7. Young sets up in the pocket. Short slant to Wilson. Young completes the pass to Wilson, 7-yard gain, Stokes with the tackle, 1st down. 1st and 10. Young at the line. The give to Corum. Corum on the draw, loss of 2, Spillane with the tackle. 2nd and 12 at the 26. Young calling signals. Young gives to Warren. Warren with an 8-yard run, Spillane on the tackle. End of the 3rd quarter, New York 17, Baltimore 16. 3rd and 4. Young calls out the signals. Fades back to pass. Short hitch to Tonjes. Young throws incomplete to Tonjes, Wilson on the coverage. Bojorquez back to punt. A 50-yard punt by Bojorquez, return of 14 by George.
Receiving team.
Stallions down by 1. Stafford pitches right to Barkley. Barkley the ball carrier, gain of 2, Highsmith on the tackle. 2nd and 8 from the 12. Shotgun formation. Stafford fades back to pass. Short hitch to Henry. Stafford passes to Henry, incomplete, Thompson with the coverage. 3rd and 8. Stafford fades back to pass. Screen to Barkley. Stafford completes the pass to Barkley, gain of 8, Landman on the tackle, 1st down. Man back in punt formation. A 52-yard punt by Man, fair catch by Shaheed. First and 10 at the 28. Young calls out the signals. Warren takes the handoff. Warren on the carry, 5-yard gain, Edwards on the tackle. Young barks out the signals. Young fades back to pass. Medium fly to Wilson. Young with the pass to Wilson, gain of 12, Stokes on the tackle, 1st down. Young drops back to pass. Medium slant to Wilson. Young to Wilson, incomplete, Stokes on the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Young in the shotgun. Young calling signals. Sets to throw. Medium cross to Wilson. Young throws incomplete to Wilson, Stokes with the coverage. New York by 1. 3rd and 10 from the 45. Young sets up in the pocket. Screen to Warren. Young passes to Warren, incomplete, Spillane on the coverage.
Grounding. Offense, number 9, 10-yard penalty. Loss of down.
Bojorquez to punt. "40-yard punt by Bojorquez, return of 20 by George."
Defense. 5-yard penalty.
Bojorquez from punt formation. "30-yard punt by Bojorquez, fair catch by George." Stafford fades back to pass. Stafford is sacked by Parsons, loss of 10. Baltimore trailing by 1. 2nd and 20 from the 20. Stafford from the shotgun. He fades back to pass. Medium slant to Henry. Stafford throws incomplete to Henry, Worry on the coverage. 3rd and 20 at the 20. Barkley split wide. Stafford fades back to pass. Medium slant. Stafford throws incomplete to Higgins, Brown on the coverage. Man deep in punt formation. Man won't get the kickoff. Man on the carry, loss of 10, Clark on the tackle. Young drops back to pass. Pass to Shakir. Young throws incomplete to Shakir, Witherspoon with the coverage. Young from the pistol. Young back to pass. Young passes to Wilson. Young throws incomplete to Wilson, Stokes on the coverage. 3rd and goal from the 10. Back in the shotgun. Young fades back to pass. Young throws to Shakir. Young throws incomplete to Shakir, Witherspoon on the coverage. 28-yard attempt for Myers. The snap from Frazier. Myers is good from 28, New York 20, Baltimore 16. The kick from Myers is downed by George. Stafford back to pass. Stafford dumps it to Barkley. Stafford to Barkley, gain of 9, Knight with the tackle. 2nd and 1. Stafford gives to Barkley. Has room to run. 11-yard gain by Barkley, Parsons with the tackle, first down. 1st and 10 from the 45. Stafford pitches left to Barkley. 1-yard run by Barkley, Parsons on the stop. Stafford from the shotgun. New York showing blitz. Stafford back to pass. Medium slant to Henry. Stafford completes the pass to Henry, gain of 12, Worry on the tackle, first down. Stafford fades back to pass. Medium cross. Stafford throws incomplete to Higgins, Brown on the coverage. 2nd and 10. The handoff to Barkley. Barkley the ball carrier, gain of 7, Landman on the tackle. 3rd and 3. Stafford fades back to pass. Short out. Stafford to Tucker, gain of 9, Gardner on the tackle, 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 26. All eyes on Barkley. Stafford fades back to pass. Short slant to Dortch. Stafford completes the pass to Dortch, gain of 10, Hickman on the tackle. Stafford fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Dortch. Stafford passes to Dortch, gain of 9, Hickman with the tackle. 2nd and 1 from the 7. Baltimore in a hurry up. Stafford calls the signals. The give to Barkley. Barkley lost 1 on the play, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 9, 10-yard penalty.
Baltimore breaks the huddle. Baltimore trailing by 4. 2nd and 11 from the 17. Stafford calls the signals. Charbonnet with the handoff. Charbonnet the ball carrier, no gain, Highsmith with the tackle. 3rd and 11. Charbonnet split outside. Baltimore in a hurry up. Current drive, 10 plays, 58 yards. 5:54 off the clock. Stafford back to pass. Medium outside pass to Smith-Schuster. Stafford completes the pass to Smith-Schuster, touchdown Baltimore. Cardi will try the point after. The kick by Cardi is no good, Baltimore 22, New York 20. Cardi boots it. The kick from Cardi is returned 15 yards by Perrin, Stewart on the tackle. Baltimore faking blitz. Young drops back to pass. He dumps it to Warren. Young completes the pass to Warren, gain of 1, Spillane on the tackle. New York down 2. Young from the pistol. Running left. Warren with the lane. Warren gains 25 on the pitch, Spillane on the tackle, 1st down. Young drops back to pass. He throws underneath to Warren. Young completes the pass to Warren, no gain, Spillane on the tackle. Young in the shotgun. Young at the line. Young running. With room to run. Young on the sweep, 16-yard gain, Wilson on the tackle, 1st down. Hurry up offense. Young fades back to pass. Young throws to Tonjes. Young throws incomplete to Tonjes, Brisker on the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 36. Young fades back to pass. Short hitch to Warren. Young to Warren, 5-yard gain, Spillane on the tackle. 3rd and 5 from the 31. New York hustling to the line. Young fades back to pass. Short sideline pass to Shakir. Young completes the pass to Shakir, gain of 3, Witherspoon with the tackle, 2-minute warning. 46-yard try for Myers. This will give them the lead. The snap from Frazier. Myers made the 46-yard field goal, New York 23, Baltimore 22. The kick from Myers. The kick from Myers is returned 37 yards by George Miller on the tackle. Barkley with the handoff. Barkley the ball carrier, gain of 4, Clark on the tackle. Baltimore trailing by 1. 2nd and 6 from the 39. 1:44 left in the game. Stafford in the shotgun. Stafford hands to Barkley. Barkley gains 4 on the sweep, Parsons on the tackle. Baltimore needs a big play here. Baltimore trailing by 1. 3rd and 2 from the 43. 1:39 in the 4th. Stafford fades back to pass. Slant to Tucker. Stafford throws incomplete to Tucker, Gardner on the coverage. 4th and 2 from the 43. Stafford calls the signals. Stafford fades back to pass. Short out to Tucker. Stafford completes the pass to Tucker, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense. Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
Fourth and 12 from the 33. Stafford fades back to pass. Medium sideline pass to Smith-Schuster. Stafford passes to Smith-Schuster, gain of 6, Worry with the tackle. And off to Warren. Eight-yard gain by Warren, Spillane on the tackle. Young shovels it to Warren. Warren on the carry, gain of 1, Ajimo with the tackle. 3rd and 1. 0:32 left in the game. Slow down offense. Young fades back to pass. Young throws to Warren. Young passes to Warren, gain of 3, Spillane with the tackle, first down. New York 23, Baltimore 22.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Replay Sports Channel.